In less than 2 decades, a company that most Americans had never heard of became a global telecom titan, commanding a 48% share of the foldable smartphone market and building 5G infrastructure in over 170 countries. Yet this meteoric rise has come under fire from governments, competitors, and even allies. How did Huawei, a company born in the shadow of China's industrial landscape, achieve this, and what secrets lie behind its shocking strategy? By the end of this video, you'll see how one company's playbook redefined global telecom, and why the world is still trying to catch up. Huawei was founded in 1987 in Shenzhen by Ren Zhengfei, a former engineer in China's People's Liberation Army. The company started humbly, selling phone switches to small regional networks. Revenues in the first year? Just $5,000. Ren had a vision: global dominance through relentless innovation and vertical integration. By the mid-1990s, Huawei began developing its own research capabilities, investing heavily in in-house research and development, a strategy almost unheard of for Chinese startups at the time. By 2000, Huawei had become China's largest telecom equipment provider. Its secret weapon? A philosophy known internally as customer-centric innovation. While competitors chased short-term profits, Huawei reinvested up to 15% of annual revenue into research and development, giving it a technological edge no Western competitor could ignore. By 2005, Huawei had its first international breakthrough, signing contracts in Russia, South Africa, and parts of Europe. The company's mantra was simple but effective: infiltrate emerging markets first, prove reliability, then challenge global giants on their own turf. By 2015, Huawei was no longer just a Chinese success story. It was a global force. Its revenue had surpassed $60 billion, and it was the third largest smartphone manufacturer worldwide. Huawei's 5G technology, in particular, began turning heads, promising speeds and connectivity far beyond what competitors could deliver. But with rapid growth came scrutiny. The U.S. government accused Huawei of potential espionage, banning its products from critical infrastructure. Western media painted the company as a tech threat. Despite this, Huawei continued expanding, particularly in Africa, Latin America, and Asia, building infrastructure where others feared to tread. Internally, cracks began to show. The aggressive pace of expansion strained Huawei's management structure. Decisions were increasingly centralized around Ren Zhengfei, creating a top-heavy hierarchy vulnerable to regulatory and geopolitical pressures. Here's the shocking part. Huawei's most audacious move, its $50 billion gamble on 5G, was both genius and perilous. The company decided to dominate 5G infrastructure globally, pouring billions into patents, research and development, and partnerships. By 2020, Huawei held more than 3,000 essential 5G patents worldwide. But the West responded aggressively. The US, UK, Australia, and Japan imposed restrictions, citing national security concerns. Huawei's access to critical chip technology from American suppliers was curtailed, threatening its smartphone division and slowing its global 5G rollout. Yet this crisis revealed Huawei's resilience. The company doubled down on its own semiconductor development, investing billions in domestic chip production. It diversified aggressively into cloud computing, AI-driven networking, and foldable smartphones, where it now controls 48% of the global market. This was Huawei's stroke of genius: turn geopolitical pressure into an internal research and development accelerant. While competitors stumbled, Huawei leveraged its state-backed ecosystem and relentless innovation to not just survive, but thrive. The consequences of Huawei's strategy are staggering. In 2023, despite Western sanctions, Huawei's revenue topped $105 billion, with international sales accounting for 60% of total revenue. Its 5G technology now powers critical networks in over 170 countries. In the smartphone market, Huawei retains a dominant position in Asia, especially in foldables and premium devices. However, the company has also paid a price. Its Western market share has plummeted, partnerships with major U.S. tech firms evaporated, and public perception remains polarized. Huawei became a symbol, not just of corporate ambition, but of the geopolitical intersection between technology, national security, and global influence. There are clear lessons from Huawei's journey. Vertical integration gave the company control over its destiny, insulating it from external shocks. Adversity accelerated innovation, forcing Huawei to build domestic alternatives that created a proprietary advantage. And entering emerging markets early allowed Huawei to establish dominance before competitors could respond, proving that strategic patience often beats short-term greed. Huawei's story is a playbook for ambition, innovation, and resilience, but it's also a cautionary tale of geopolitical risk. What do you think? Can a private company truly become a global powerhouse in a world dominated by politics and regulation? Or is Huawei an exception we'll never see again? Comment below with your answer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a Corporate Case Files investigation.